On paper, the Pyro shouldn't be too complicated. You got a flamethrower, you got the W key, and you have M1. The story should really end there, right? You fool! You know nothing of the beauty and complexities of the combo Pyro. This ain't about damage or kills, although those things will definitely come with it. It's about control, timing, and big brain styling on these nerds. Oh, we dunked on him, yeah, baby. It's about using all of your tools perfectly, your flames, your air blast, your secondary, and stitching them together into something that's more than the sum of its parts. Just like when the Power Rangers would assemble into the Megazord. Oh yeah, baby, that would get little Twister fired the hell up. You understand what I'm saying? A combo class in a game that was never really built for combos. This isn't Shrek the Fairy Tale Freakdown. This is Team Fortress 2, a game where everything can kill you in a second, and it's your job to take all of that and send it right back at them. This video is Combo Pyro propaganda, and we'll be understanding the beauty of Pyro's kit and combos on TF tonight. Like peanut butter and jelly, mac and cheese, and the Wendy's 4 for 4, all great combos have unique components that bring something special to the table. Pyro's secondaries are no different. Each has something unique that changes how you approach the game. But before we dive into the secondaries, I want to highlight our glue guys of the loadout. These are the blue collar weapons that make it all possible. Starting it off with the degreaser, a flamethrower that increases switch speed in exchange for less afterburn damage and a higher ammo cost for reflex. Now, some people will say that the trade-off is not worth it. If you ask me, if you're relying on afterburn and can't manage your ammo, you just aren't doing combo Pyro right. That switch speed is a game changer, and it opens the door to some of the greatest kills TF2 has to offer. I'm talking about those big meaty reflects. Next, I want to shout out our wonderful melee, the Power Jacker. The Power Jack gives you a speed boost to help position yourself, with a downside of increased damage taken when you have it pulled out. Proper positioning is key for all classes, but for Combo Pyro, it is especially important, lest you get caught out and exposed. The Power Jack can get you into a favorable spot or out of a bad one, which is very handy. It even gives you 25 health on kill. You know, what's not to like? Shout out to you two. You guys hold down the fort so the secondaries can shine. So, without further ado, here are 4 words on each of Pyro's combo options, and it would only be right to start off with the OG. The stock shotgun. The working man's secondary. Oh, reliable. It does exactly what you expect. No fancy bells and whistles, but it feels damn good to use. This is a weapon that can give you a little bit of everything, and it can give it to you consistently. It's able to poke out enemies from mid-range, and it's also able to put up big numbers at close range. All you gotta do is set your enemy on fire, disrupt them with a little air blast, empty a few shells into them, and you'll be cooking. The range that this weapon has is great at baiting out rockets and pills, since a soldier or demo will need to stop you from popping shots at them. And listen, Pyro is a high commitment class. Once you dive in, you're usually all in, but the stock shotgun gives you a way to back off and still contribute. It lets you be more flexible and capable of adjusting on the fly. Maybe you're the type of guy that wants to go all in though. No judgment here, pal. If that's the case, there's the panic attack. All in and ballin'. You want to talk about something slick? The panic attack and degreaser almost makes it feel like the Pyro is dual wielding. This is a line that I genuinely wrote down and thought, oh yeah, that's fire. Not realizing that Lazy Purple already made that joke. Damn you and your iconic videos, you beautiful bastard. Anyways, the switch speed on this thing is electric, and it feels smoother than butter. Picking the panic attack over the stock shotgun comes with a few pros and a few cons. And without breaking down the stats of this weapon, the panic attack has a switch speed buff, and it shoots more pellets in a fixed spread. These pellets do less damage, and each consecutive shot is a little less accurate. To put that simply, this thing feeds off aggression. If you're up in someone's face, bouncing between your flamethrower and shells from the panic attack, like a lunatic, it'll carry you to the promised land. But if you're trying to do poke damage at mid-range, you're just burning ammo and the little dignity we TF2 players have left. But hey, at least it's not the reserve shooter. They never expect it. If you are of legal drinking age, then you probably remember when this thing was the combo pyro weapon of choice. Boy, how the high have fallen. For some reason, I see this weapon used much less than some other truly abysmal weapons we'll talk about later. It is incredibly situational, but when it works, it is lethal. There is about a 7% chance that this thing is best in slot. A diving soldier, demo, or jetpack pyro can get absolutely smeared. There is definitely an element of surprise for this weapon. No one is going to expect you to pull this bad boy out. That is mostly because there is no way to reliably get the most out of this weapon, so why would a pyro equip it? 9 out of 10 times, it's just gonna be the stock shotgun with less ammo and a quicker pull speed. There is of course a chance that you knock a soldier or demo into the air off of a reflect, which is certainly not easy to pull off. But that being said, if the map you are playing on is designed for rocket jumping soldiers, it would definitely be a great option. They're probably gonna call you an asshole in the chat, but it's gonna be effective. When this weapon fell from grace, it was replaced with what I believe to be the king of combo pyro weapons, the flare gun. My power is immense. What do you know about flare punching? This bad boy deals a guaranteed crit to burning players. That's 90 damage straight up and a cool 60 damage of afterburn on the side. This thing hits like a truck and can be pulled out and fired lightning quick. The combo window is tight. You'll need to predict the other player's movement perfectly, and you only get one shot with the flare gun before that window is closed. Another cool feature of this weapon is when you holster the flare gun, it automatically reloads. This allows you to focus on your movement, maybe a little reflecting, or disrupting your enemy for long enough to launch another flare. Undoubtedly one of the most rewarding weapons in the game, and probably my second favorite gun in TF2. The flare gun is an example of great game design. Oh, baby! Feels powerful, just fast enough to be able to predict distant enemies, and does enough damage to make it highly viable. Everything is earned, nothing is given. I wish I could say the same for the scorch shot. I am a monster. This is an unholy weapon for bastards and wretches. The skill required to do well with this thing is on the level with the skill required to wipe your ass. The payout is unbelievably high though. Just fire it in the general direction of an enemy and you will get value. I can almost guarantee that. Now I guess we gotta talk about the combo. In case you do not know, the scorch shot can almost stun lock an enemy for a second if they're directly hit by its flare. In that time, you could pull out your primary, M1 them, and the scorch shot will explode doing additional mini crit damage. I'm sure that being in the middle of these combos feels terrible, and my deepest, sincerest condolences to anyone that I may have performed it on. Don't worry though. If you can't aim, you can always go for the generous splash damage this thing gives you when direct hits are just too hard. 95% of the time, scorch shot users will use this cursed weapon just like how you're seeing now. Locking down choke points with little brain activity to be spotted at all. I gotta say though, I'ma say it, from using this, I have found how elite it can be at wasting a sniper's time, which will always put a smile on my face. Another weapon that excels at setting snipers on fire is the detonator. Enemy snipers hate him. Have you ever been playing TF2 and just thought to yourself, fuck that guy, I don't like you. Have you ever been just scanning the battlefield and wanted to set one person on fire specifically? Well then, the detonator is your man. Great at harassing multiple people from afar. If you can get the timing down well enough, the enemy team should be pretty consistently set on fire. Now, it doesn't do big numbers like the flare gun's crits or a meaty shot from the shotgun, but its consistency should not be scoffed at. While the other weapons we talked about have been finishers, the detonator seems to be a bit different. Instead of dealing a killing blow, the detonator is like death by a million cuts. This weapon is great at putting Pyro in the driving seat of fights and makes the other team react to you. Someone's gonna have to come over and shoot the Pyro, because if they don't, you can keep on hitting those detonator shots all day long. I haven't even touched on the flare jumping you can pull off with this thing. Flare jumping may be the pinnacle of combo Pyro gameplay. There's just something about appearing somewhere that a normal Pyro usually can't reach that just makes my neurons tingle. There is definitely a high skill ceiling for the detonator. I won't act like I'm even close to it, but if you value mobility and creativity, then this is the secondary for you. Unfortunately, the same could not be said for the Manmelter. Bad, but feels good. Jesus, I don't even know what to say for this one. Have you ever seen a combo Pyro pull this thing out after air blasting someone into the air? Not really, right? The whole gimmick of this thing relies on extinguishing your teammates to get guaranteed crits. So there's a very real chance that you just never get any stored crits, and thus have to rely on just hitting the other team for regular damage. I gotta say though, even after all that, it feels pretty good to do that. Did you know that this weapon is tied for the fastest projectile in the game? So landing these shots feels pretty reliable. There's no loading animation, which kind of messes my pea-brain up, and there are some visual effects that appear when using it that are an absolute eyesore. But nailing people from across the map so easily? I was not familiar with your game, Manmelter. Another weapon I was not familiar with was the thermal thruster. They never look up. I had never used this weapon before making this video, as I always thought it was kind of a gimmick, and it was for more of a WM1 enjoyer, if you would. I was pleasantly surprised when I came across a very fun combination. Pairing this bad boy with the Dragon's Fury and just diving on unexpected enemies was an absolute blast. Is it a combo? Probably not. But it's my video, goddammit, so it is now. Anyway, it's simple. Find an enemy that's not looking your way, and then dive on them with your fireballs. That was awesome, I guess. Get in trouble, fly the hell out of there. You can absolutely erase people on maps with plenty of high ground. In the big 2025, they are still not looking up, so they will never truly see you coming. Well, that's it. That's all the secondaries. Hey, you, sit the fuck down. Will you sit the hell down? Damn, alright, fine. I'll talk about your shitty weapon, the gas passer.
Ah, God, help me!
TF2 has some of the most brilliantly designed weapons in any video game, period. And then there's this loaded diaper of a weapon. What were they possibly thinking? This was one of the last weapons added to this game before Valve went out to get milk and smokes, never to come back. They literally dropped trowel, spread their cheeks, and out fell the gas passer. Technically, there is a combo that you can pull off, so I guess I'll mention it. The updated gas passer now correctly defines players coated by gas as wet. That means that the Neon Annihilator can crit gas-coated enemies. We did it. We really did it. This is huge. Of course, you still need to wait quite a while for this weapon to charge, so most of the time, you don't even have a secondary to combo with. And that's not the only caveat, though. Let's say you do wait forever to use your secondary and you finally get an enemy wet. You still need to be able to walk up to them and hit them with the Neon Annihilator. And if even a single bullet from your team hits them, they're gonna go up in flames, which means the Neon Annihilator can no longer crit them. Whatever. But that wouldn't happen, right? Your team kill stealing? No. No. Not in TF2. Who's ever heard of that? Anyways, I need to wash the taste of shit out of my mouth. Let's talk about a real weapon. The Extinguisher. It's still got it. Every combo Pyro's favorite melee, the Extinguisher. This melee weapon mini crits burning enemies, extinguishes them, but also deals the remaining afterburn damage to them. If it deals a killing blow, then it will also give you a speed boost that makes the Pyro faster than a scout for 4 seconds. Now, the downsides, it can't randomly crit, has a 33% damage penalty, and it holsters slower. To break all that down, essentially we're trying to get a hefty amount of afterburn applied to an enemy, and then smacking them with the Extinguisher for some big boy numbers. Great when you sneak up on a gamer, or if you have a helpless enemy air blasted into the corner. This weapon is all about burst, and is incredibly satisfying to pull off. That speed boost really catches them sleeping too. Now that's what I call WM1ing in style. I also think dealing all remaining afterburn damage is just such a great concept as well. There is an abundance of methods for removing afterburn in this game, so a weapon that is designed to ensure that damage is delivered in full is really damn cool to me. The sound of your enemy being extinguished, the big numbers that appear over their heads, and the feel and audio of the speed boost, there is just so much good shit built into this thing that just churns out pure dopamine. Now obviously, all melee in this game is a little bit janky, it's a little bit shitty, so there are going to be some times where you're going to look like an absolute fool. But if you do land that hit, you cannot argue with the results. So that is the Pyro's combo arsenal. But why does it feel so rewarding to pull off? It would be easier to track down a certain list than to keep track of everything going on in a TF2 match. TF2 is absolutely insane. Each game feels chaotic, uncontrollable, and every class can kill you in a blink of an eye. And I believe that is the root of what makes Combo Pyro so rewarding to pull off. There are so many complexities in this game, and Combo Pyro takes all that and makes it look easy. Not to be a damn weeb, but it reminds me of when Dio uses Zaweldo in JoJo's. The Combo Pyro can put out such nasty damage so quickly and flip each encounter on its head. If you use the tools you have correctly, if you position yourself appropriately, you can take control of the chaos of these games. Grenades and rockets being sent to destroy you are being returned to their senders. The fastest class in the game is getting knocked out before he even knows what hit him. The sniper, who's usually safe at a distance, is the one being hunted, unless they're using this goddamn thing. This thing fucking sucks. The Combo Pyro has everything you need to handle just about any enemy, and to do it in style, no less. I think that deep down we all want to feel like we have big, foldy brains. We all want to feel like we are pulling off some cool-ass maneuvers on this ancient video game. Well, my beautiful viewer, that's what Combo Pyro is all about. Pulling out these flashy plays, controlling your enemies, and making difficult encounters seem so damn easy. Pyro has been a low-hanging fruit, a punching bag for the WM1 jokes for an eternity. Well, no longer. This channel is now a staunch supporter of Combo Pyro enjoyers, and hopefully, this is enough to convince you to become one. Well, that's all I got. Let me know what combo is your favorite. Thanks for watching, and as always, good night, TF2.